All right, everybody, you got to keep this video short. I only got about 10 minutes of space on my phone's drive, so I'll try to keep it short anyway. Just like everybody else, I keep having a problem with this four-wheel drive actuator on my 2017 Ram 3500 dually, four-wheel drive, obviously, and with Cummins. So I'm going to tear this OEM one down. This being the top of the unit, plugs into your vehicle, passenger front side of the axle like yo. Single electrical connection down on top of this guy. So the bottom of this, it looks like there's a concerted effort to me to seal it up from the bottom. There's a whole bunch of RTV along the seam, first of all, that I cut off already. But to me, it looks like there's more of an effort to seal off the bottom than there's the top. So there's all these clips, and it almost looks like metal clips inside of these areas here. I'm not exactly sure what that's about yet. My assumption is that this unit slides in, maybe in, this side slides into this side, and maybe that clip actually is part of this left side. The aftermarket ones are getting water migration into here. I believe that's what I've got going on with the one I just got off of Amazon about 2.5 months ago. It failed pretty quick, and then about 200 miles it failed. Got it back working by disconnecting and reconnecting, and went fine for another 250 miles, and then it failed permanently. So you can't even force it to activate. By the upper right hand corner pin is your 12-volt power, bottom is the ground, and then if you just choose one of these and try to ground it till you figure out which one's the right one, it will not activate at all on either of them. This one failed with tension that way though, which is really disconcerting, because that would mean it's forcing the gear to engage four-wheel drive permanently, and I have never had my truck personally in four-wheel drive. It's new to me at somewhere around 90,000 miles, let's just say. Got about 98,000 miles on it right now. Took it on a long trip, it failed, and that's in another video. Anyway, I want to try to get this thing disassembled and try to show the parts as we go through, as well as how to disconnect this stuff. And I'm hoping that I see some corrosion on the motherboard or the circuit board that's inside this thing, because that would kind of show me that it had water penetration in there causing the failure. Okay, and then just to stay oriented on where we're at on this, let's see. So we're upside down. All right, so upside down, and this would be the, jeez, I can't even orient myself on this. Let's see, so it'd be the back left corner of this unit here is what I'll be pointing at. Let me try to zoom in and flash on. Look at the upper right portion of that control board right there, and there's a bunch of corrosion right here. So I suspect that's what's shutting down our power, is whatever's going on there. Everything else though so far looks good. Just only that one part of the control board. I'm gonna take a magnifying glass out and look around a little bit better here. Maybe some of this other stuff looks bad as well, but that's definitely the likely culprit is right about there. And then to correlate with that corner, you can see in this upper corner here, there's some corrosion, signs of corrosion. Unfortunately, I can't tell if it was from a gasket leak or anything like that. That's going to be very hard to tell on this one. Let's see, I think this is that's a hard, like a hard ridge, I believe. Not a gasket there. Yeah, so that's just a plastic ridge that wraps around. And is there any evidence? It looks like it's just RTV. I don't see any giveaways anyway, other than that obviously it was corroding in that corner. Nothing, no overt signs of anything inside of here going wrong. So I'm going to see if I can't clean this thing up, throw it back in, and apply 12 volt power to it. And just see if I get it to actuate. If I can clean off this board and in that corner there, if there's no like resistors, capacitors, stuff that I don't understand, fried. And then what I'll use to try to clean that up is a new bristle. I'll just use this like a scrub brush, basically in some D5 deoxit. Spray that on and just kind of rub it around, see if I can't get that thing cleaned up. You know, it is connected to this, whatever these guys are. Oops, sorry. So I suspect that thing is fried, is the case, but you know, I don't even know what that is. Maybe I can look it up online with that part number and see if that's what's bad on it, but we'll see. All right, so I already sprayed some on, but I should have done that. I should have done this all on video just in case it works. I don't know as much I can really glean from this, but so this is all the effort we're going to take on this, and then she's going in the trash. Let's see if that'll clean up by chance, at least so that it's not shorting out onto itself. All right, I just wiped it off with the paper towel. Not exactly. I don't know what I'm doing, obviously, but you know, I don't do electrical at all on basically anything, so I don't know if I'm rubbing a circuit board raw to where it would never work in the first place, or if we're doing it justice. And I don't have any way of releasing these. I mean, I have a solder gun, but I am not getting into that with this thing. Either it works or it doesn't, basically. So, all right, so I'm going to try to run power to this and see what happens. So just to do this test, I took every one of these little tabs, and they're all busted off now. They're every one of them in order to get there, and all the sealant. So I'll just use this clamp to keep everything back together temporarily. Keep that motor in its designed place. Oops, for the bench test. And just in case this actually works this time, this one had zero function on it at all with this bench test. The way we're oriented here, we've got as you're facing forward on the truck, passenger front right side, the top right prong in there is your 12 volt power, constant 12 volt. The one right underneath it, so back right, is going to be your ground, and I'm not sure if it's the top left or the bottom left will be the one that we have to ground out in order to get this thing to actuate, if it's going to actuate. So right now we're trying the upper left corner. Nothing, of course, kind of as expected here. I'd just be shocked if this thing works, you know. So let's move that over to the back left prong, and we'll go to ground that one. Yeah, okay, so we're dead in the water. Yeah, so no go, but you've seen the inside now. So I guess the last thing that I'm curious about is the motor actually fried? You know, this is probably fried because, you know, it probably is fried. Don't know what that thing is yet, but I can, there's a little nub, two little nubs. The yellow's connected to one of them, and I will connect, and so that's going to go to to negative, and then I'll connect another one to the positive lead on the battery, and let's see if that'll actually fire. All right, and 3, 2, 1. I'll get a little smoke out of here, but the motor's still good. So that's interesting. So yeah, so we got this guy apparently is bad, that box. So I'm gonna check this out and see if I can't jump it. There's, I don't know if you can see this or not, it's gonna be really hard to point out, but this little copper bridge right there, it looks like it's broken in the middle of it. So maybe that burned out when this thing got messed up in this corner. So I'm gonna try to bridge that somehow and see if I can run this again. So let me be super clear on something. I bridged across that brass with a piece of wire and just electrical taped it down. So no, this isn't a permanent solution. I just want to see if this works. I had to redo it, but I did get continuity upstream, downstream from it. And I only have 30 seconds left of video left. Okay, nothing on that peg. And that's a little long way of telling you no, none of this worked.